everyone, it's Justine. I wanted to make a quick video to share some cool stuff I learned over the weekend. I know that as I'm always learning and growing and curious about so many things, and so I know that if I learn information that resonates with me, that it'll resonate with other people as well. So I'm here to share. So I went to a workshop over the weekend, and this is what I do. Like, if you ever feel called to go to something, you're not really sure why, you just feel like, oh, I'm supposed to go there, then go. Whether it be a class, a workshop, a retreat, a store, just anything. If you feel like, I'm curious, I don't know why, go there, and then you'll figure out why later. This is kind of like how I live my life. But anyway, so I went to this 2-day workshop. It was by a guy named Jerry Sargent, and he basically teaches about quantum energy healing and just working with energy in a different way. How he describes it is it's helping us remember things that we once knew that we've forgotten. So I learned about the importance of breath work. Now I have a breath work routine that I work into my day, usually start in the morning. And if you've never taken a breathwork class, it's really transformational. I mean, holy schmoly. If it's just a pure breathwork class, like, you will walk out a different person. And we're always growing and evolving anyway. Like, we shouldn't be the same that we were yesterday or the day before. We should always be growing. So consider looking into a breathwork class. There's different breathwork exercises that you can do at home. If you've ever taken a Kundalini yoga class, now I know why I always resonated with Kundalini yoga, because it's lots of breath work, lots of repetitive movements, really like clearing your space, pulling the energy up, through the crown, and it's that may resonate with you too. So you might want to look into that. I also learned about Qigong, so different kinds of. Now I know why Tai Chi. Now I'm like understanding so many things that I just didn't know before. It's like, but once you know something, now you know it forever. So I'm incorporating some Qigong into my daily practice as well. And it just really helps to center myself and just really tune into this, this energy field that we're always in, and stay centered and grounded, and keep your space nice and clear, and keep your vibration high. So essentially, and some of this it's going to sound a little bit weird, but essentially we're living in the Matrix. So if you haven't watched that movie in a long time, with Keanu Reeves, consider watching it again, or at least like the first one, to just kind of understand like what we're living in and how to navigate it well. Like, we're basically in this game, like we're in these avatars of a body, and there's energy everywhere, and we're learning how to navigate it and not be affected by all the stuff that happens. So as we're going sort of on our ascension journey, and what does that mean? It basically means becoming the best version of who you could possibly be. Keep peeling away the layers of the onion, all like the programming, repetitive thought patterns, fear-based thoughts, separation thoughts, all that stuff that just doesn't really align with people anymore. Like, we're moving into a totally different way of being, which is living more from the heart space versus just the head space. So anyway, so it's important to keep learning, growing, doing your own inner work, noticing when you're triggered with stuff. So I was curious, because like the other day, so I did my breath work, and I was feeling like awesome, right? It's a 20-minute routine. And then like right after, I received a phone call that was totally triggering. And I was like, so I asked the teacher, I was like, so what happened in that instance? I mean, I was feeling so good, and then with this phone call, I was just like, bleh. So what I've come to understand is essentially, because we're like basically living in this game, there are energies that don't want us to keep ascending. They want to keep you lower, and it's not through a person's. People don't mean ill usually. It's things happen, sure, but it's more about how we react to them or not react to them. So like, as you keep like going up and up and up in your vibration, you're going to get constant tests, like, oh, everything's going awesome, oh, let's see how you react with this thing. You're going to stay here, you're going to go down here. So it's like this constant test. And eventually he said, like when you're sort of going up, you're sort of in this like no man's land, where it's like you just got to be super aware, and then eventually you can get to a place where you're pretty high vibe where things won't affect you. And it kind of goes along with the intuitive class I've been taking, which is the goal is to learn how to become neutral as often as possible and not get triggered and not reactive with things, like be in this neutral space and really, which is essentially being in the now and being present, being here, like right here, right now. So yeah, that might be too much for some people, but anyway, it's okay. Other things I learned, I mean, of course, again, a practical perspective, it's really important to eat clean foods. Well, why? Because foods contain their own vibration, like fruits, vegetables, things like that. Like they come from light. Essentially, we all are energy and light. So that's why if you also want to raise your vibration and essentially cleanse you of stuff that doesn't want to be, isn't serving you, toxins and things like that, eating really clean is very helpful. Drinking lots of water and good quality water is very helpful. It's like we knew that, right? But I knew that from a nutritional point of view. But I also didn't realize like it's basically liquid crystal. Like if you look at the water under a microscope, and there's plenty of things on Google with that, there's crystals in the water. And they could be like beautiful crystals or sort of like all like muddy if it's like not good quality water, or it sort of also picks up in its environment. But anyway, so drinking enough water is really healthy for us on a physical level as well as an energetic level. Just doing the breath work is super important. Any sort of practice, whether it's meditation or whatever resonates with you, but anything that you could do consistently to keep your vibration high and keep your space clear. That's why in a past video I talked about basically putting up like filters around you and protection around you, but essentially it's just like keeping your space clean and clear so that we're not as influenced by other energies. And in the morning and the evening, you always want to do like a cleansing and a clearing of your own energy, a grounding, like grounding out the day, bringing in light to sort of fill you up. There's all sorts of things that you could do to stay clear in your space. What else did I learn? I learned so much stuff. Oh, I also learned why, so for those of you that have had a Reiki session with me or seen my one video where I did like a distance one, I didn't understand like why my hand would literally vibrates during a session. And essentially, there were other people in this workshop where I was noticing the same thing. I'm like, okay, so I'm not that weird. I mean, maybe I am, but whatever. But essentially, I'm like transferring light, and since everything is light, and even like there's like geometry and mathematics, so I don't understand all this stuff. I don't understand a lot about quantum physics, but essentially, when I'm doing an energy session on myself or others, I'm transferring light into their being and into their essence. So that made me feel normal because I was like, what's going on? And there were some more things I learned, but I guess the main theme is to keep staying curious, keep learning and growing, develop some sort of daily practice that will keep your personal vibration high and up, whether it's meditation, exercise, walking in nature, breath work, Tai Chi, Qigong, anything like that. It's just super important. And then when things happen, when you get triggered, just remember that we're always operating out of a space of fear or love. So it's important to not make decisions, not react when there's when it's like this sort of like negative, like low vibrational type energy. Like they don't react to it, and if you do, it's okay. Just don't do it the next time, because we live in a world of energy, and it's time for us to learn how to master it. Master our own energy, master how we operate, master how we live our life, living from the heart, doing the inner work. It's just like exercise. Like you can't go to the gym once and then 6 months later go again and expect results. This has to be like a daily practice, a daily awareness, like a daily thing that you're doing is to constantly work on being the best version of yourself and keep transforming yourself, because honestly, we're transforming every day. You're becoming a better version of you every single day as long as you keep at it. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go to the beach now. I already did my kickboxing class today. I just finished my breath work stuff, and I'm feeling like super good. So hope you are too.